Rainer Werner Fassbinder was a highly influential German director that was active in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. He was part of the loose movement known as New German Cinema that also included famous directors like Werner Herzog and Wim Wenders, but he definitely has his own unique style. Fassbinder was one of the first openly gay filmmakers to get a lot of acclaim, and he wasn't shy about showing homosexuality in a frank way. He often dealt with taboo topics like that, as well as portraying societal issues like alienation and oppression. Fassbinder was also incredibly prolific, sometimes making up to 4 or 5 films in a year. This was made possible partly by the fact that he often shot his films in a small number of locations, usually interiors. It also didn't hurt that Fassbinder was involved in all aspects of production, at times working as editor, composer, or cinematographer. Most people get into his work by watching his 1974 film Ali, Fear Eats the Soul. The film is about a Moroccan Muslim immigrant named Ali, who begins a romantic relationship with Emmy, a much older German widow. Fassbinder's film examines racist attitudes in contemporary society and Germany's Nazi past that it hadn't fully reckoned with. Fear Eats the Soul is one of his more accessible films, largely due to at least the 2 leads being much more sympathetic and likable than a lot of Fassbinder characters. This sympathy the audience feels with the 2 leads is greatly amplified by their incredible performances, as both are realistic and subtle and act without a great deal of artifice. It's also easy to get into due to its pacing, as it's got a short runtime of just over 90 minutes and never feels even slightly slow. The relatively straightforward plot helps as well. Fear Eats the Soul also has excellent cinematography, and instead of just being there to show off or look cool, it perfectly illustrates the themes of the film. Fassbinder's first film came out in 1969, and his earlier work is much harder to appreciate. He started out in the theater, and his roots in that art form are clear in his work of this era. Fassbinder's camera was frequently static, and gave us tableau-like compositions where the actors faced the camera. Most shots were wide, close-ups were rare, and often entire scenes played out without an edit. The acting was deliberately unnaturalistic, and in his film Katzelmacher, the actors appear emotionless and sedate. His early films were inspired by the theories of Bertolt Brecht, specifically his distancing or alienation effect, and this meant they didn't appeal to a wide audience. Katzelmacher featured characters that are terrible, abusive people, which couldn't have helped its mainstream appeal. Similarly, in Love is Colder Than Death, long periods pass without much happening and there's little dialogue. The turning point in Fassbinder's career came in 1972 with The Merchant of Four Seasons, which was a success in Germany and brought him international attention. Like his earlier movies, this still had a sense of artificiality, unlikable characters, and stilted acting, but its social commentary on class divisions, mental illness, and domestic violence led to its popularity. The Merchant of Four Seasons was the start of Fassbinder making extensive use of melodrama, which avoids realism for a focus on emotion and stereotypes. Fassbinder was specifically influenced by director Douglas Sirk, who made successful Technicolor melodramas in the 1950s like All That Heaven Allows. Fassbinder's The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant is a great example of him using minimal locations, as the entire film takes place on one set and with a small cast. In Fox and His Friends, we see Fassbinder's matter-of-fact portrayal of homosexuality. The characters just happen to be gay, and the film is not about oppression or bigotry, which was very unusual for the time. Instead, the story focuses on a working-class man who wins the lottery, played by Fassbinder himself, and this is used to comment on class relations. Another major success for Fassbinder came in the late 70s, with The Marriage of Maria Braun, which was set during World War II and post-war Germany. This was the first of a thematic series of 3 Fassbinder films referred to as the BRD trilogy, that all center on a woman living in post-World War II Germany. The second was Lola, which dealt with corruption and again the relationship between classes. The last was Veronica Voss, where the title character is an actress struggling to regain her fame that she enjoyed under the Nazi regime. Fassbinder also worked in television, most notably with the 15-hour-long miniseries Berlin Alexanderplatz, adapted from a 1929 novel. Fassbinder made his final film Querelle in 1982, but sadly died just before it came out at age 37 of a drug overdose. Despite dying young, Fassbinder undeniably left a lasting impact on the world of art house cinema, inspiring filmmakers for decades to come, like Pedro Almodovar, Gaspar Noé, and Bong Joon-ho. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. there's any other filmmakers you'd like to see a video like this on, please let me know in the comments.